whatever that process is, whatever you've taken someone through, whatever that journey is, remember to make sure that they not only see themselves as successful, but that you're giving them the opportunity to see how their own circle of friends, families, colleagues could have similar, if not even maybe better results based on the work you've done together. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Oracle on Purpose podcast. I'm your host, Leah Dunlap, and I want to talk today about part 2 of my previous podcast about leveraging connections. And really what I wanted to talk about today was, are you actually being a conduit for the flow of energy between you, your partners, and your connections? In other words, when you're leveraging your relationships and your connections, are you only seeing it from one side, or are you seeing that internal flow, like the flow from one person to the next, through the next, onto really the ideal situation for all parties? And for me, when I look at the relationship I have, it doesn't just mean my partners in my business necessarily. It also means my clients. So one of the things that we don't often talk about as founders and entrepreneurs is the referral process, and how building a relationship with your own clients and having them really validate for themselves their own results, their own rewards, and having them see, looking out into their own, sphere and their circle of influence, their friends and their partners and maybe their colleagues who could benefit from the same results because they see that the path that you've walked them through has been successful in helping them. And you have done a great job of showing that path back to them, right? Sharing with them their own rewards, giving them the opportunity to pause and reflect where they were, where they are now, where they see themselves going with your support. And if they can see that path, if they can see that track, you can also then add in, and this is the leveraging piece, the examples of other people who might benefit from what they're actually receiving, whatever that is that you do, whether that's something of a service, whether you're a naturopathic doctor and someone who's had a child after having, difficulty with infertility, whether you are a coach who's helped somebody in their life or their business, or if you are a real estate agent, you're a luxury agent who has helped a client, turn their finances around so that they can go out and buy that dream house they've been wanting to buy. Whatever that process is, whatever you've taken someone through, whatever that journey is, remember, as I say, don't forget, remember to make sure that they not only see themselves as successful, but that you're giving them the opportunity to see how their own circle of friends, families, colleagues could have similar, if not even maybe better results based on the work you've done together. So when we talk about leveraging connections, that's a big piece of it. Like, don't forget the people that you're actually serving. They're part of that field for you. They're part of, especially if you're doing a great job, which I'm sure if you're listening to me, you're someone who is committed to having an impact and doing good work. So the people that you're serving have the opportunity to really help themselves and others by sharing and referring you. So sometimes it takes reminding them, right? Because especially if you do any kind of coaching or support work, it can be very insular. They can feel like, oh, this is just me in my own little bubble. So it's like showing the impact of the work that you've done together, having them reflect back on that, and giving them the opportunity to see how perhaps someone they know or someone they have known might also benefit from that. So remember, that's another piece of actually helping yourself in your business to maximize that leverage of connection.
What if you could tap into the law of attraction with precision and power on your terms? I'm Leah Dunlap, and in my audiobook, Power Up the Law of Attraction, I give you the no-fluff blueprint to create a life of purpose, prosperity, and peace. Ready to stop manifesting by accident and start creating with intention? Download Power Up the Law of Attraction now on Audible. Now, back to the show.
Now, as the through line goes, as I was saying before, like from one to the other to the next, if you're the person in the middle, right, and you have a connection that you're wanting to share with someone else, refer someone else to. The other part of this is to look and see if there are those connecting bubbles outside of that. In other words, if you have a client who happens to, let's say they run a health clinic and they're your client and they want to get advertising or, they want to become, they want to speak on stages about a new product or service line that they're doing. When you're looking at leveraging that and you're looking at doing that referral, try to look beyond just the two people on either side, right? The two companies on either side. And instead ask yourself, does this person, does this company, does this entity that I have here that I'm really, very impassioned about and want to continue to support and give them resources, do they also potentially have more connections for this person I'm connecting them to? In other words, do they know other healthcare providers who would need a similar service so that when you hand them over to a media outlet, for example, that that you're connected to and say, hey, they want to be on your show, that person then will also not only have your direct referral, but the potential to work with their fellow healthcare clinic owners, right? And then vice versa, that your healthcare clinic owner might actually get to meet people from that particular media outlet's own clientele that will hear about what they're doing and what they're doing with their clients and say, oh my gosh, that's exactly what I need. Like, find the connection that goes beyond just the first and second introduction. That's a really great way to learn how to leverage just beyond that direct, here's so-and-so and here's such and such. See the evolution, right? This is when we're talking about really understanding the ripple effect of our impact. And ultimately, I was just talking to somebody today about this, the concept of actually having an impact as a founder, an entrepreneur, it's across the board. So many people want, and they actually start businesses, right, to make an impact. And so this is just another layer of that. Leveraging these connections helps us make a bigger and bigger impact. It's an impact beyond just ourselves. And it is that thing that creates the ripple effect from your own personal work with your clients and or your customers out into the real world, right? The world beyond your brick and mortar, the world beyond your screen. And that really is when we can, as a whole, truly make the biggest impact in the lives of those around us. And that is a limitless life. That's a limitless life mindset. It is like, this is more than me. It's bigger than me. And I get to be a part of it. So if you really want to take advantage and leverage these connections you have, first, recognize that you have them. Second, make sure that when you are making those connections, you're looking beyond just the surface to see how these could really help build both companies, both people up, right? And then make sure you point that out. Show them when you're handing them off, right? When you're sharing the referral, explain, make sure you connect those dots for them so that they know that you're a part of this process of building that flow and connection, and that they take on ownership of the fact that they can have a more robust connection and referral than just one-to-one. All right. Thanks so much for watching. Again, I'm your host, Leah Dunlap. This is the Oracle on Purpose podcast, where we believe that you deserve to live a limitless life of purpose and prosperity. Thanks so much for watching. Make sure you subscribe, and we'll see you next time.